So everybody, start clapping. Start clapping. Right now. This guy is hilarious. He's a pro here at Comedy Works. Everybody give it up for Vinnie Montez!
Family, how we doing tonight? Denver, Colorado, what's going on? I just want to give a quick shout out to the raza. We got any gente in here tonight? Órale, que pues. All right, so here's the deal. I became a cop in 1997. I was inspired by two guys to become a police officer. One was named Ponch. The other one was named John, all right? And I've been in the game for a long time, man. I'm not like I was when I was a younger cop. Like, you come out of the rapper, out of the academy, you're excited. Somebody's drinking underage, you're like, yeah, baby, let's go get him. But when you got 20, 25 years on the job, you got to weigh the risk versus the reward. You know what I'm saying? If you ever see me running after somebody, hit that son of a bitch with your car. That's a fucking homicide suspect right there. And do me a favor, call an ambulance. Not for them, for fucking me. That's who. We're going to go with the dark side here for a little bit because I feel like this crowd's been absolutely awesome. I've been watching the show behind stage, and I'm going to tell you a story about something that's a real story, and I'm going to take you into the world of law enforcement because the things that we see, taste, smell, touch, and hear are different than anything else. And if you're a nurse or a doctor, you might live in that same world. We had a guy go up to the mountains where I work. He parked right next to a very large reservoir. He got out of his car and he moved to the passenger side. He sat down, took out a double-barrel shotgun, put it to his chin, and pulled the trigger. Nothing from here up was left. So we have to identify what we call the decedent. And the guy that was on call that night, I had grown up with a very young age. I actually started my career in law enforcement at the age of 14 at what they call a law enforcement explorer. So I way before I ever became a cop. And I was excited. And the guy that was on call that night was one of the guys I'd come up with from about the age of 16. And Jason got to the scene. And as a detective, you have to discern, who are you dealing with and who's in the car. So one of the first things he did was to identify him. So he reached into his pocket. He found his wallet. He started rooting around his wallet, and he opened the wallet, and inside he found his driver's license. He pulled out his driver's license, and he looked at it as he stood across the car from me. He looked at the license, and then he looked back up at me. And he looked at the license, and then he looked back up at me. And after he'd done that for a little while, I could see there was a little pause to him. He took his thumb. He put it over the photograph. He held it up, and he said, "Do you think this is our guy right here?" I know, right? I know. I was like, bro, I don't know that I fucking agree. I don't know that I agree. And he was like, why, bro? I'm like, look at the license, asshole. It says he has green eyes. To me, it's clear he has blue eyes. One blue that way, and one blue the other way. This is a true fucking story, I swear to God, the dark. And we had a young rookie, and when you have a young rookie on scene, they're like brand spanking new, and they're just soaking it in. They're like sponges, like eyes wide. Like when you come home and your puppy's like right there, and they're just like, it's all new to them because the scene is surreal. When you see somebody dead like this, you're like, holy shit. And he asked a really stupid question to two very senior people. He's like, man, what do you think this guy was thinking? And I was like, bro, I have no fucking clue. I have no idea. I could tell you the last thing that went through his fucking mind, but I can't tell you. For the Subaru drivers that are in here tonight, I'm not poking fun at suicide, all right? That is not the point of this. This is the dark humor that we use in order to cope with the things that we see, taste, smell, touch, and hear. And so after we go through this ID process, the coroner's investigator shows up. And you may not know, maybe you do, is anytime there's a death, and what they call an unattended death, it's always investigated jointly by the law enforcement agency and also the coroner's office, because the coroner is the one that truly determines the cause and the manner of death. And we're way up in the mountains, and I've been a cop for probably like 3-4 years at this point in time, but I've been around for a long time because I was an explorer riding with deputies for like 7 years. And I've been on a lot of scenes and watched, and the coroner's investigator got there and he started investigating with us and started doing everything, and they got through the process, and they go to bag him up. And I told the coroner's investigator, I go, double bag him. And he's like, really? And I'm like, it's going to be a waste of a good bag. And I'm like, I'm just telling you, bro, double bag him. So do you think this guy listens? Fuck no, he doesn't listen. He's going down the steep incline to go down the mountains. The guy's in the back, right? And you put him in head first. I don't know if that's really a thing, but like in this situation, but they put it, they rolled him in. They put him on that little rickety thing and they rolled him in back in the day. And he clicked in, and they're going down the incline, and I was like, bro, you're going to regret this. And sure as shit, he's driving down, and the front of the cabin starts to fill with purge. Yeah, I was like, damn. Yeah, he should have double bagged him. That's all I'm saying. He should have double bagged him. Thank you guys so much for not getting crazy.
What do they, when someone does that, what do they do with the gun?
Which story are we talking about?
The suicide.
Oh, well, we take the gun, we put it in safekeeping, and it's used during the investigation. And depending on how deep they're going to go into the investigation, I just don't remember what the circumstances were around that. I just remember that piece of it. There's like a million calls. Earlier we were talking about you can't remember everything. There's just certain points of calls that stick out to you, and you'll never forget them. If you'll let me digress here for a second.
Yeah.
Right? I've always been known where I work as a shit magnet. Like, if there's anything going to happen, like if you were a cop, you could stop a car, it'd be full of nuns, and you'd be like, oh, and everything would be fine, right? I could stop the same car 10 minutes later. All the bitches got guns and shit. They're like, we're not going right now, asshole. And literally, I'd barely been a cop for like 6 months. One of the first calls I ever went to is this lady. The call came out as a person walking around the trailer park with a gun, somebody ramming a shed with a vehicle. Yeah. And I get there, and there's this old lady doing CPR on this dude, and I jump in to take over, and my FTO, field training officer, starts doing chest compressions, and he's like, get in there, goddammit! And I did mouth to mouth with this guy. No bullshit, for like 10 minutes. He threw up in my mouth 3 times. This is not even made up. This is straight up.
I think this is why I have the psychosis. Again after the first one. He's like, I'm going back in.
I was in training. That training officer had my life, and so I will never forget. They load this guy up in the ambulance. They're taking him to the hospital. My training officer's with him in the ambulance. I've got to drive the car back. I come walking out of this shed. And there's this lady across the way wearing a moo-moo, one tooth, holding a fucking empty or a Gatorade bottle with water. She's like, officer, you need a little bit of water to wash your mouth out? And I'm like, fuck.
Oh, she put water in a Gatorade bottle? That's not
boom, roasted.
I'm going to be a cop. I'm going to save babies. I'm going to save women. No, you're going to just save people that deserve to actually die.
Having somebody throw up in your mouth like that, though, probably a weird way to find out you have a fetish, huh?
Oh, bro. I think honestly I have psychosis to this day because that call, man.
That's more likely.
I know. I got to the hospital. I was like, you guys have fucking toothpaste? And I was like scrubbing, and they have those little short toothbrush.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Any other questions for Vinny? What's up? Did the guy leave a note?
I don't know. I don't want to say something I don't remember, and I don't know if he did or not. I don't remember. Yeah, I just remember the trauma of that call and just the dark humor that we had, and but oftentimes people do, sometimes people don't. The people who really do leave notes are the ones that use that book called The Final Exit, where they're planning the suicide. They're like, they have all their stuff laid out, this is gonna go to Bob, this is going to my kids, And I mean, there's some people that truly plan it all the way out, and then there's some people that I don't think will ever truly know what really happened, but good question.
Yeah. If anybody in your life you think is in danger, make sure you reach out to them. Can we at least agree about that?
Yeah.
If we're talking about it?
Well,
Check in with your friends and your family, everybody.
Let me just say that. So one of the things people ask me all the time, where's a police officer doing stand-up comedy? And this bears on what you just said. My mental health got really shitty after about 10 years out on the street, and I was ashamed to talk about my mental health because I thought people would judge me and think I wasn't any good on the street anymore. But that's fucking bullshit. And if you're ever struggling with your mental health, never be ashamed of stepping up and talking about it, because there's people to your left and to your right that are willing to help you.
It's not so much a question, but a comment. I want to say thank you for your service, big dog.
Thank you very much. I
Hey,
appreciate it.
Vinny. Vinny's awesome, man.
For a second, I thought he was about to be like, I've been thinking about killing myself. I was like, all right, after the show.
We'll do an intervention right here. We'll all fucking jump on top of you.
We'll hug this shit out of you.
I'll just poke you right in the ass once. I don't know. We'll get you going. Did he say he's gonna hawk to? He said he's gonna hawk to me.
I don't know if you were paying attention to the show. This guy has like a gram of cocaine on him.
Oh, nice.
We can get it out of him.
He's not working. You're right. You're absolutely right. So, do you have drugs also? Is that? I love that everyone's just like outing themselves.
I didn't hear
right
shit.
now.
I'm out of my jurisdiction.
This girl
It's
wants
Ron
it.
County, right
This
there.
girl wants it. Hold on. What is it?
I'm curious if you think that the mouth-to-mouth was like a Windy Peppercorn situation.
All right, for the young ones, hold on. So, explain what you mean for anybody that might not understand in the room.
The sand lie. Yes.
Oh. Wow. Now I know what you're saying. No, that was not fucking planned. Hey, bro, do me a favor. Just like bring yourself right to the bridge of death. And then let me come over, and then a 245-pound Mexican come on top of you.
Is it?
You think I was tonguing that motherfucker?
But to be fair, Vinny looks really awesome in a red one piece. Like he.
The guy's all fucked up. He's like,
Yeah, if you see me in a red one piece, call for 911. I just lost my shit.
All right, we got one more. We got time for one more question. What's up?
The one that you gave mouth-to-mouth to, did he live?
He lived for, I think it was about 2 weeks. Yes, so it was a positive outcome for a while.
For a while.
And they were able to I don't know how to say it more professionally, but basically part him out. So even though he died, part him out. So donate his organs and stuff like that.
Part him out. Whoa.
I love how he prefaced that like it was going to be a controversial thing to say. Of all the things to say, he's like, I don't know if this is politically correct, but part him out.
Sorry, I should have said they're donating organs.
All right,
but,
anyway. Yeah.
Look, man, I'm in the vernacular of what we do. I don't know.
I think that's outside of the statute of limitations, personally, but that's... All right, let's do a couple text messages and we'll get out of here. For years, my dog picked avocados from my neighbor's trees and brought them home for me. Oh, that's nice.
Shit, I'm Mexican. We love that guacamole all the time.
Yeah, you train your dog. Just train your dog to do that.
Little Chihuahua trying to struggle home with one avocado.
Is this the same sock dog?
Just the coolest dog ever. I bought Coke off a homeless man from a trash can in Fat Tuesdays on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. You need to reevaluate your life, dude. Like that's.
Also, that's New Orleans. He's not homeless. That's what they do.
You ever seen anybody like a unique place that somebody was hiding drugs where they were selling it?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Tell us the best place to hide drugs.
Yeah, tell us what to and not to do.
Yeah, we'll put this on YouTube.
I remember we did a search warrant one time, and then like later on we found out that they hid the drugs in the beans.
Wait.
Like they have, you know, like all the Mexicans in here, they'll testify. We have beans. We have tubs of beans inside our houses, right?
So many beans.
I'm not trying to be racial, pero tenemos frijoles ahí, mero muy chingón. And they forgot to check the beans, and I was like, fuck.
A bunch of white guys. You're like, none of you check the beans.
So I don't know. I wasn't the case agent on that, but I remember being like, "Fuck, that's a good idea."
Yeah. Especially because you're like, wow, I wonder why this place is always so busy. Like that.
The cop's like, oh yeah, we checked the ramp.
All right, everybody, give it up for Vinnie Montez, yo!